So what is Joseph going to do? All right? It looks like he's being cuckolded in the old English way of thinking. He's a cuckold. Somebody else has got his wife. Everyone knows Joseph didn't do it because Joseph, in this world, there's no microscopes in this world. There's no blood tests. In this world, there's no DNA. You know who the son is when the man comes and claims. That's how he has to publicly claim, this is mine. Right? And you remember when he did that? Zechariah he had no voice with John the Baptist in the Lucan story. He has to name him. No. It's not the woman who names the son. It's the man who names him. Remember, the public is the world of the men. So everyone knows that because Joseph is not making any claims, Joseph didn't do it. Joseph is humiliated, a humiliating situation for a Mediterranean Middle Eastern male. So what's going to happen here? It's pretty bad. If you're following this story carefully and what I'm laying out for you this morning, I would hope that instead of seeing this as a comedy, I know we're laughing a little bit, you would realize the absolute horror of this situation. Right? This is a tragic tale. It's one of many biblical tales of terror. This is a NC-17 horror movie. That's how our New Testament begins. Okay? And it's with Christmas? See, because we got all of us 2,000 years of theological, and not only theological, devotional and emotional freight heaped on it, and so we don't see the horrific situation that Mary is in. This is a tragic story. Put yourself in Mary's shoes.
Scary, fearful, condemned. Right away, condemned. With
no voice to defend herself.
Right, condemned.
Yeah, thank you.
It's hard for families.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be really hard on the men. Because, see, this is another thing that's hard to understand. Women don't really bear the shame. The shame is borne by the males when they cannot defend their female. So what do you have to do? You have to eliminate the stain.
Is Mary betrothed before or after she's pregnant?
Before. She's betrothed from when she's a child.
She's been betrothed.
What are we waiting for? We're waiting for her to start her menses.
Okay.
Once she starts her menses, sometime after that,
Then she gets married.
then the marriage is consummated. And it's not a religious celebration. That's another thing. Yes, sir.
I think you're talking to what confuses me. It says she was betrothed and before they lived together.
Right, because she was betrothed.
Like our engagement,
but not right. Her marriage was arranged for when she was very little.
Okay.
But before they had lived, that just gives you a time period. She's already hit the menses period. That's assumed. And she's become pregnant. So this is right around the time she would have been, and we got to learn. And what you're implying, or the question that's being begged, is how does the marriage part go about? Okay, moving on. How does this happen? Let's put ourselves in Mary's shoes. We can see how horrific this is. Try to imagine what is happening here. The author of Matthew knows just how terrifying this account is. Unfortunately, our translations of Matthew aren't really up to his standards, so we miss how he helps his audience to cope with the horror of his account. Matthew chapter 1:18. This is the origin of Jesus Messiah. When his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found with child. Through the Holy Spirit. He's got to put that there and say, hold on, don't get too scared. He's got to put that in. Because this is the world of the Middle East, folks, when you're found pregnant. That's real, by the way.
But you know what I find so sexist? It's the women generally that is stoned.
But they're the one causing this all.
Well, but there's a reason why. There's a reason why. And it is, of course, horrible. It's an honor crime.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about why is that. Now, in reality, the text should be like this. Matthew chapter 1, verse 18. This is the origin of Jesus Messiah. When his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found with child through a lowercase h, holy, lowercase s, spirit. This is an addition from the author, this little parenthetical bracketed comment, to tell his audience, hang tough, Mediterraneans. This story is going to turn out okay. Don't panic. That's why he's got to put that bracketed comment in there. Most translations have something like the, capital H holy, capital H spirit. The problem is that the is not in the Greek manuscripts we have of Matthew. There's no article, ho. So if there's no the, what does that do to Holy Spirit? It's not the Holy Spirit. Capital H holy and capital S spirit become lowercase h holy and lowercase s spirit, as in a Holy Spirit, a holy wind. The author is living centuries before the Council of Constantinople in 381 AD, which accepts the co-equality and co-eternality of the third person of the Trinity. He's not talking about the third person of the Trinity. He's talking about a Holy Spirit, a holy wind, spirit, which anthropologists call an other than human person. An other than human person. Try to understand this, folks. The world of the Middle East is very different than ours. In the world of the Middle East, there is believed by their cultural consensual reality that the air all around us is densely populated with other than human persons we call spirits. There are good spirits, and there are bad spirits, and there are just plain mischievous spirits who enjoy nothing better than screwing around with us. We see that in like Job chapter 1. Job, right, is on earth, and God is up on the sky vault with all his sons, and up comes the Satan. That's one of those spirits. And he comes to God, and he says, look at your servant. God says to them, hey, look at my servant Job. He's a real man. He's honorable. He's loyal to me. Yeah, says the Satan, God's prosecuting attorney, God's secret agent in the sky. Yeah, that's only because you love him so much. You're so attached to him. You're so stuck on him and bless him. It's easy for somebody to be loyal. If you give him all that you give him, all right, go screw with him. But you'll see he's a real man. And that's Job chapter 1. And so he goes around and screws with him. So the author of Matthew is telling his audience, it's a good, look, it's not a mischievous spirit, and it's not a wicked spirit that did this. It's trying to destroy Mary. It's a good spirit that did this. Don't worry. Chill out. It's going to be okay.